Good afternoon, my name is Claire Misharek. I am joining you here to talk about literacy skills in early and pre-readers. This information is important to keep in mind as your child is preparing for the task of learning to read. The information I will be providing you with will help you better understand the terms used by the teachers, the process children and teachers go through to prepare for future literacy skills, and activities that can be done at home and in the classroom to support your future readers. A lot of the terms and vocabulary teachers use can be very confusing. For that reason, I think it is crucial for parents to understand some of these terms and how they relate to literacy and learning in the early years. Phonological awareness is a broad skill that includes identifying and manipulating units of oral language. But what does that mean? Basically, it's parts of the word, syllables, and onsets and rhymes. These are all examples of phonological awareness. To fully understand that, however, we really need to understand what an onset and a rhyme is. An onset is the first letter in the word. As an example, the word bat. The onset is the letter B. The rhyme is the rest of the word after the onset. So in the case of bat, the onset is at. Although not all words will have an onset or a rhyme, most of the early words children will learn to read will have both. Learning the onset and the rhyme will help children recognize chunks of an unfamiliar word and will help them decode more difficult words as their reading improves. Phonemic awareness, however, refers to the specific ability to focus on and manipulate individual sounds, also known as phonemes. But what does that mean? Phonemes are the smallest unit of the oral language. As an example, in the word bat, the phonemes, there are 3 of them. It's b, a, t. Both phonological and phonemic awareness are directly connected to a child's ability to learn to read and gain fluency while reading. Children cannot learn to read if they do not recognize and know the sounds of each letter in the alphabet. For that reason, it is important for young pre-readers to not only recognize the letters, but know the sounds they make too. Being able to break a word apart and identify syllables is what children do when the teacher says, "Sound out the word. What do you think it says?" Children can learn to identify syllables, onsets, and rhymes before they even learn to read, and it is encouraged to make the transition to reading easier for them. Early reading development plays an important role in early literacy skills. Early literacy skills are print concept, letter naming, vocabulary, phonological awareness, listening, speaking, and comprehension. It is proven that children introduced to reading early become stronger readers in the older grades. For that reason, teaching early reading skills is important in pre-kindergarten as a step towards beginning to read in kindergarten. Print concept is the basic understanding of books and the written word. Children understand where the front cover is, the book needs to open, and pages turn from right to left. Children turn one page at a time and can understand that there are individual words on each page, which must be read from left to right. Children must be able to identify all their letters and know the sound each letter makes to feel confident in their reading. Vocabulary is important because expanding a child's vocabulary early increases their word knowledge. This in turn will increase their reading and comprehension abilities. Phonological awareness will help children become more fluent readers. Listening skills are used to learn to read. Children must be able to listen and follow directions from the teacher regarding strategies that will assist them in becoming readers themselves. Listening to themselves read and make letter sounds is another way listening is an important part of the reading process. Speaking is also important. Children with speech delays have a more difficult time learning to read and gaining fluency. For this reason, receiving related services is critical to a child's success in reading. Finally, comprehension plays a role in literacy skills too. Children must not only be able to read the words, but comprehend and understand what they are reading also. Teaching this early sets children up for the later grades when reading comprehension becomes a main focus in the classroom. Pre-K teachers demonstrate comprehension skills by modeling what good readers do. They model while reading, stopping to think out loud about a certain part of the book, or wondering what the character might do next are all examples of how pre-K teachers bring comprehension into their classroom. Print concept activities. The activity can be done in a small group of 5 children. Children will be provided with the same short book. Each page will comprise of a short 3-word sentence, each page repeating itself with the exception of one word. As an example, the first page will say, "I like cats." The next page will say, "I like bats." The next page will say, "I like mats." These are short CVC words, or consonant vowel consonant words, with the rest of the sentence consisting of high frequency words. The group of children will listen to the teacher read each page while they use their magic power pointer finger to point to each word as the teacher reads it. The teacher will first model this so the children will know exactly what to do. The children will then be invited to try it themselves. They will all read the words together on the page, and then each child individually, if they feel comfortable, will be invited to try it. Letter naming activity. We will play a memory game for this. An assortment of letter cards will be placed face down in an organized manner on the table. The first child will turn over a card and tell their friends which letter they turned over. They will then turn a second card over, saying the name of the letter as they turn it. If the 2 cards match, the child can keep them. If not, they must turn the cards over and it is the next person's turn. This will continue until no cards are left. The teacher will turn the first set of cards over to model the concept for the children. For the children that may struggle with letter recognition, the teacher will provide cards with the letter and a picture. The teacher will review the letters that are in the game before they start. Vocabulary activity. We will play a game of What Am I? The teacher will have an assortment of items on the table. The teacher will then select an item and hide it behind her back. She will then begin to describe the item. As an example, if the teacher hides a plate behind her back, she will say, "It is round. We put food on it. We wash it when we're done." The children will have to guess what the item is she's holding behind her back. The child that guesses the item correctly will be able to select an item to describe and invite friends to guess what they are holding. This will continue until each child has had a turn to describe an item. For children with exceptional needs, this activity, the child will give one verbal cue and use pictures to help communicate the item she is holding. For example, they may have picture cards, shape cards, color cards to help communicate. Phonological awareness activity. We will play a rhyming game. We will have a large picture grid on the floor and a pile of large pictures on the side. The child will toss a beanbag at one of the large pictures in the grid. The child will then select the corresponding rhyming word picture card. This activity can be modified to accommodate more advanced students by making it harder, rhyming words, or by inviting them to toss 2 beanbags at the same time. Children with delays may watch the other children perform the task prior to their turn for more modeling. They may pick a partner to help them select the correct rhyming card when it is their turn. Listening activity. For a listening activity, we will play a repeating game with instruments. Each child will be given an instrument. A drum, bells, or a tambourine work best. The children will listen and copy exactly what the teacher does with the instrument. Teacher will begin by tapping the instrument 1 time. The child will repeat after. The teacher will then try again with a different pattern, maybe tap twice. The child will then repeat it. The teacher may decide to make it faster, and the child will repeat. The teacher may vary with shakes and taps. The children must ensure they are repeating the pattern exactly as the teacher does. For exceptional students, the child will tap out the syllables in friends' names. Speaking activity. The teacher will invite children to find a toy in the classroom they enjoy playing with and bring it to the table. Children will then share the toy they have chosen with the rest of the group. The children will be invited to tell their friends what the toy they chose is, what they do with that toy in the classroom, and what they like about it. This activity has many benefits. It encourages the children to listen to each other. It encourages children to communicate and think about why they like items and things they play with. It teaches children to take turns and use their words. Comprehension activity. The teacher will read the story If I Built a Car by Chris Van Dusen during story time. During small group work, we will revisit the story and talk about some of the features the boy in the story would add to his car. The teacher will then invite the children in the group to draw a picture of a car they would build, including some fun features like the story. They will share with the group their car and tell the group what features they would include. The teacher will write down exactly what each child says and add to the bottom of their picture. If the child needs the book to be provided for picture references, that can be done. These are some examples of activities you can do with your child at home, and these are some examples of activities teachers do in the classroom to help prepare their future readers. Thank you very much.